Are you in the market for a greens mower for your golf course lawn? If so, you clicked on the right video. Coming up, I do a detailed review of my Toro Greensmaster 1600. I discuss the pros and the cons that should help you decide if it's the right mower for you. Let's get started. Hey YouTube, welcome to Project Golf Course Lawn Season 5. Well, this video has been a long time coming. I've been following you guys in the comments, and one common suggestion I've been getting is, even though my lawn looks really good when mowed with a Tru Cut, you guys are convinced that it would look that much better if used with a proper greens mower. Well, challenge accepted. It took me a while to find one, but I got a great deal on a Toro Greensmaster 1600, and I'd like to share it with you guys. So first, let's start out by just talking about the overall specifications, then I'll go into the controls, I'll discuss some of the pros and cons that I've seen so far with it, and then finally, we'll do a little bit of mowing so you guys can see that stripe action. All right, so as far as specifications, this is a Greensmaster 1600. The width of the cut is 26 inches, so it's a little bit wider than the mower you guys commonly seeing me use, my Tru Cut, so it's slightly wider than a Tru Cut. As far as the engine this comes with, it comes with a Subaru, in the specifications, it says that it's a 4.3 horsepower engine, but if you look at the sticker that's on there, I mean, it clearly says 4.5. So for those of you that are Greensmaster or Toro nerds, tell me which one is right. Is the documentation right, or is the sticker right? Or do they just mean different things, and I'm just kind of like correlating things that have no correlation? So yeah, so 4.3 horsepower engine. It's a Subaru, and it's very, very quiet in comparison to my Tru Cut. There's a noticeable difference in sound with this. As far as the roller, we get down here, you guys can see that this guy is sporting a grooved roller in comparison to the solid roller that's common on many powered reel mowers. And then as far as the reel itself, I went with an 8-blade reel, which is just common for this series. I believe there is also an 11-blade option, but this is the 8-blade. As far as heights of cut that you can do with this mower, the mower supports being cut from heights of cut from 0.125 inches, so really greens levels, all the way up to 1 1/4 inches. So really the easy way to remember that is, from the documentation I was looking at, is that it's 125 either way. You just move the decimal point and that'll tell you what the height of cut is. So you can go all the way down to like greens height, again 0.125 inches, very, very short, or up to 1 1/4 inches. So the way this one is set up is at 0.625, so a little over, right around 5/8 of an inch. That's what the bench cut height is set to, and the height of cut that's actually producing on the turf is closer to between 0.625 and like 1/2 inch. So as you guys know, the height that you set on the bench is not necessarily the height you're going to get when you actually get out and mow, because the mower sinks into the turf just a little bit, which lowers the height of cut. So I'm cutting right around 1/2 inch is what I'm seeing. So that's for the most part, this is the main specs. Again, 8-blade reel, 26-inch wide pathway. Now let's dig into the controls. Now, as far as controls go, you've got your on-off switch right here. So you can power this on or off just using that. Like all mowers, you've got a throttle. You've got a parking brake, which will locks the mower in place to prevent it from as a safety device if you're parking it somewhere. And then you have the traction drive. So what this does is it activates the clutch that engages the traction drive, the drum, and the reel. So literally this is like an on-off switch. So right now it's in neutral. So if the engine were on, the mower would be moving, and then simply moving it down engages it, and now the mower is cutting and propelling itself at the same time. So in comparison to other mowers, some of the differences that you'll see in comparison to, say, like a Tru Cut, is that you'll notice that unlike the Tru Cut, where you have separate thumb controls for forward motions, like for traction, and actual the reel being engaged, with this they're linked. If you want to disengage the reel, Toro does make a provision for that. If you come down here, there's a gearbox here where there's a lever that will disengage or engage the reel. So in this position, it's disengaged. When you pull it towards the gearbox, that engages it. So right now, if the mower were running and I actually engage the clutch up here, having this in this position would cause the reel to spin once that clutch is locked up. But if you need to move the mower, say you're transporting it from one position to another, you can just simply push that, and that will disengage the reel. So they thought of everything in the sense that, you know, by locking the two together, you're ensured a constant clip rate. So regardless of whether you're kind of creeping along or you're mowing full on out, you're going to get the same quality of cut. And I've tested it, and it really does hold true. I've mowed, you know, moving along at a snail's pace, and I've mowed with it flat out, and it cut is the same regardless. So it's a really cool idea and design that the clip rate is fixed regardless of how fast the mower is moving. As far as the propulsion system itself, like how the mower is actually propelled, if you guys have seen a Tru Cut, typically you have two tires, like two tractor tires, one on each side that propels the mower. With the Greensmaster, what you're using is this roller drum in the back. So what that does is it distributes the weight more evenly. So instead of having like two relatively narrow spots that take all the weight of the mowers. I mean, these mowers, this one I think is between around 230 pounds, somewhere abouts. Tru Cut's around the same thing. So instead of having all that weight distributed just in you know, two very small areas of the wheels, in this case it's distributed across the entire width of that drum. That does a couple things. Again, one, it eliminates those burn-in marks. So if you guys have seen some of my videos of mowing with the Tru Cut, you'll see sometimes like some areas in the lawn when I'm making a lot of passes where you can see the actual tires, the grooves the tires cut in the lawn. And then overall, this just produces a better cut because again, the weight is distributed more evenly, and the stripes you get with it are insane, as you guys are going to see here. So make sure you guys keep watching. You're going to see the stripe action that you get out of this mower. It's pretty incredible. As far as cons go, again, this is designed for golf courses. I'm using it on a home lawn, but remember, golf courses, you typically don't have fences on golf courses. You don't have, you know, big rocks and barriers and things that you have to mow around near greens. So you have to keep that in mind when you're buying a piece of equipment like this. Whereas the Tru Cut is designed for, it's a commercial mower designed for residential lawns. This is a commercial mower designed for golf courses. It's designed particularly for fairway areas, like those tee boxes, the approaches, the fringe areas around greens, and you can even cut greens with it as well too. So with that comes some compromises. One thing you guys will notice is that there are tires on each side of the mower, and these are only used for transportation. They're not, you actually remove those whenever you're actually cutting. Those come off, and then the mower sits right down on the turf and mows that way. The negative to that is that there's two axles that stick out on either side of the mower, which limits how close you can get to certain types of barriers. As you guys know, my lawn, I've got the rocks out there. And as far as if I have those axles on, it limits how close I can get to the rocks. So whereas the Tru Cut, I can kind of ease right up next to those. With the Greensmaster, there is a limitation as far as how close I can get to the rocks. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the camera on a tripod. I'm going to show you guys how you can set the mower up for mowing, and then let's see some of that stripe action. Stay tuned. All right, YouTube. Now let's walk through how we get the mower set up for mowing. The first step is to get the mower up elevated so we can get the transport tires off. To do that, you just press down on this kickstand and then lift the mower. So now you'll see that the transport wheels are suspended in the air. To remove them, there's a locking clip here. So you just kind of push that in, it's spring loaded, and then pull off, and it slides off just like that. And then you've got the axle sticking out here. So let me do the same thing on the other side. Pull this guy in, and then off. And it's that simple. It's that simple to get this guy set up for cutting. So now to get the mower actually now sitting down on the turf, just again lift, pull the kickstand back, and set it down. That's it. So now we are set up and ready to make our first mowing pass. Before I get into that, one thing that you guys will see that's probably obvious is that these axles sticking out, kind of how I mentioned earlier in the video, these limit how close or how near obstacles you can mow. Again, it's just a compromise that you make when you buy one of these types of mowers, because again, it's designed for golf courses where there's not a lot of obstacles. So to start it up, it's really simple. We just turn the power switch from on to off. So now we're on. Set the choke. So power on, choke set, Everything's disengaged. It's locked in place. And she should crank right up. Let's see. Just like that. And I'll turn the choke off. Again, it's kind of hard to come through. I hope it's not probably coming through on camera, but how quiet this is compared to other mowers. But there it's just idling. I'm gonna let it warm up for a little bit, and then we'll just make a few passes up and down here so you guys can actually see what it's like to use the mower. All right, YouTube, let's make a few passes with the mower. The lawn has just been recently mowed, so there may not be very many clippings that come off, but at least you guys will get to see how it moves, how you make turns with it, what the order of operations are with the mower. So again, my reel is disengaged at the moment. So now I'm just gonna engage the traction drive and it motors off just like that, right? So now as we get set up for our first pass, you can see engaging the reel. All right, YouTube, so there's a few passes with the Greensmaster. Let me take you guys towards the back of the lawn here and we can check out the stripes that it lays down. So, again, I only made a few passes. I didn't want to make this video terribly long for you guys, but you can see the one pass we're coming this way. We went away from us and then back and then away from us again. And you can see the stripes that the mower lays down are really nice. Now, in comparison to the rest of the lawn, you can see I mowed this. It's been mowed 3 times total so far with the Greensmaster, and you can see how well it still holds those stripes. And just overall, the biggest difference is just how the turf looks after being cut. Again, it's only been cut a few times with that mower, and yet like that pool table smoothness look is really apparent. There's definitely a difference in between this mower and what I've been cutting the lawn with. So hopefully this helps you guys decide. Again, I didn't want to make this video terribly long. I wanted to just really focus on the features of the mower. In future videos, I'll have more footage of me actually doing cutting, but I just want to show you guys really quickly how the mower operates, talk about the pros and cons of it, and then show you guys some cutting action, kind of like what I did with my review of the Tru Cut. So this is the equivalent of that for you guys. If you have any questions, definitely drop me a line in the comments below. If there's something I missed or something that you guys also wanted me to go over, definitely let me know about that. For those of you that are using Greensmasters, let me know about your experience. Like, do you like yours? Do you wish you hadn't got it, or do you wish you'd gotten it sooner? Are there other options? I know there are mowing options from like John Deere and other companies, Jacobson and some others. For those of you guys that are running those mowers, let me know what you think about those, like what your experiences have been like. Again, I'm just getting started out on this journey with this with the Toro, and so far I'm really enjoying it, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So guys, hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. If you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, consider subscribing. I regularly produce content around home lawn care and things that will help you produce that golf course lawn look that we all want. And if you subscribe, you'll definitely be guaranteed to not miss any videos. In addition, you can also check out the Fix My Ugly Lawn series starring my neighbor, where we're also working on the process of transforming his lawn from a lawn that probably most of you guys have into a golf course lawn. So there's tons of reasons to subscribe. In addition, you're gonna get to see some mowing action on the Toro eventually. So you gotta subscribe to be able to see that. So guys, again, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. I look forward to talking to you guys in the comments. Have an amazing day. See you next time.